Welcome back to BKL Nightly. It is now time to dip into the mailbag. Thad Brown is out in Orchard Park, staying warm inside today as the Bills get ready for a big game this weekend, a rematch, of course, against the Patriots. We'll get right into some questions here because everybody has a lot on their minds ahead of this AFC East battle. So from Blue Sky user EJ Miller 707, the Bills offense played horrible last time out and still almost won. This user mentions the 3 turnovers and says no turnovers. They believe that would be a victory and a clean game wins it for the Bills. Thad, what do you think about the Bills winning the turnover battle being the big difference here for who comes out on top?
There's no doubt the 3 turnovers in the first game against the Patriots played a big part in Buffalo losing that game. I think if fans have put a lot of emphasis maybe on just that as the only factor. This is still a really good Patriots team that can win without forcing that many turnovers. That said, turnovers have been the bugaboo for this Bills offense for the last few weeks and one of the big reasons they've lost all of their other games as well. So this is not just a Patriots thing. When the Bills turn it over, that has become the biggest stopper of this offense so far. Obviously, if they don't have any turnovers in this game, that goes a long way towards winning. Whether or not they can actually do that remains to be seen. New England isn't a ridiculously good defense when it comes to forcing turnovers, but they have been an above-average defense so far. So no doubt, no turnovers will be a factor, but I don't think it's the factor some fans put on the reason why Buffalo lost that first game against New England.
Now, we know that the Patriots, once they beat the Bills the first time, have been on a winning streak ever since, and they have the chance to clinch the division this weekend. So from ex-user Jake Butkowski, thinks the Bills can beat the Pats, but doesn't think they'll get any of the help we need. The Bills win. They keep their division, clinching the title, hopes alive. But this user does not think that that might even matter. So, Thad, what are your thoughts on this lack of optimism, maybe from this ex-user right here?
I don't know if it's lack of optimism. I think it's more realism about where the Bills are at. I do think the Bills will win this game. I'm probably going to pick Buffalo to win. But I agree that at the end of the day, that the Patriots are going to win the division simply by beating the Jets in Miami end of the year. Look, the Dolphins have a real chance to be alive for a playoff spot that last game. That will be no easy game for New England. But I think they've proved over these last 2-3 months or whatever that they are a team that can handle that kind of game. We'll see. It will be new for the Patriots if it does come down to that last week. And I think that the best scenario for the Bills is making New England win that game. Put the pressure on them squarely. And I think with a win this weekend, Buffalo will go a long way towards doing that. But I really feel good enough about this Patriots team to handle their own business. And I guess there is a scenario out there where if the Bills lose to Philadelphia, they can still get in if the Patriots lose to Baltimore and one of the 2 division teams. But it really comes down to those last 2 weeks. And this New England team, with Mike Vrabel coaching it, if they're healthy, and that's a big question because they're missing a few linemen for this game this week, I think they will handle their own business end of the year.
Now we've got one more question here from ex-user Stanley, a.k.a. Pretzel Day 21. Of course, this is a big test on Sunday. It's a must-win if the Bills want to fly high into the playoffs. This user says a loss this Sunday would be devastating. Thad, what are your thoughts on just how high the stakes are this Sunday, and if the Bills win, if the Bills lose, what this could potentially mean for the rest of the year?
I think this is a good question because it points to what the Bills can accomplish with this win. It's not so much about winning the division, which still would be possible if the Bills win on Sunday, but it's about getting their own house in order, getting themselves going in the right direction, because the Bills are on a 2-game winning streak for the first time since week 4. Week 7, whatever it is. This is not a team that's been hot too often. This is the kind of game, especially with Cleveland to follow, a home game against a Philadelphia team that can't figure out left from right now. The Bills have an opportunity with this win to really get themselves heading in the right direction and get real hot going into the playoffs. Even if it's going to be as a wild card, as a 5 seed, if they walk into the postseason on a 6-game win streak with a win on the road in Foxborough, a home win over Philadelphia, that is a team no one will want to face in the postseason. So the Bills have to handle their end and win their own games. And I think this week will probably be the toughest hurdle towards doing that.
Certainly a lot of good questions today. Just like we said, this is a big test on Sunday. It'll see how this one plays out. And if the Bills can extend that winning streak, like you said, to 3, as if they, have they done that all season? They haven't put together a big winning streak at all. So we will see on Sunday, of course. All right, thank you, Thad, so much for being out in Orchard Park answering today's questions. That is going to wrap up this week's BKL Mailbag segment.